The atom, the building blocks of everything. What would we do without them? But you may ask what an atom is. Why are they related to everything? Well, that's what I will talk about today. An atom is one of the smallest things only viewable on a transmission electron microscope. Atoms are made out of protons, electrons, and neutrons. The protons, electrons, and neutrons are charged with a -1 charge, a +1 charge, or a 0 charge. Protons are positively charged, meaning they have a +1 charge. Electrons are negatively charged, meaning they have a -1 charge. Neutrons are neutral, meaning they have a charge of 0. A quick thing to note is that usually the protons are equal to electrons. Now, the atom is made like this. The proton and neutrons are in the middle, which people call a nucleus. The electrons are spinning around the nucleus in different shells. Now, the shells have limits on the amount of electrons that they can have. There are 7 shells, the first one having a limit of 2 electrons, the second one having a limit of 8 electrons, the third shell having a limit of 18 electrons, the fourth shell having a limit of 32 electrons, and the fifth having a limit of 50 electrons, the sixth having a limit of 72 electrons, and the seventh shell having a limit of 98 electrons. Although in reality, there aren't any atoms that have 50 electrons on the fifth shell, the same with the sixth and seventh shell's limits. These aren't the amount of electrons on every atom shells, to note. This is just the limit of electrons that the shells can have. An element is a substance made out of a singular type of atom. Now, there are 118 elements, and they are separated using a periodic table. Now, this table here may seem a little confusing, so let me explain. First, you could see all the numbers here, and this is the element called seaborgium. Now, the numbers here may be a little bit confusing, but I will now explain what is happening here. First, the two bigger numbers show the atomic number and the mass number. The atomic number shows how much protons are in the element's atom, and the mass number shows how many protons and neutrons are in the element's atom. This means if you want to find the amount of neutrons in an atom, you need to do the mass number subtracted by the atomic number, which will give you the neutrons. So for seaborgium, you need to do 269 minus 106, meaning that there are 163 neutrons in seaborgium's atom. Then you can also see the Sg, which is a symbol which just symbolizes the element on the table. Next are the small numbers on the right. This shows the electrons, the first number being 2, showing that there are 2 electrons on the first shell, and when it goes lower, meaning that it goes to the second shell, the third shell, the fourth, the fifth, and more and more. Now, next is a compound. Compounds are made from 2 or more different types of atoms joined together chemically. An example of a compound you will see every day is water. It's made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms, and it is named H2O because it has 2 hydrogen atoms, which the 2 is supposed to show, and 1 oxygen atom because it has no numbers next to it. Finally, mixtures are just like compounds as they are made by putting 2 different elements together, but mixtures are not joined together chemically. They are mixed together and can easily be separated. An example of this would be salt water, which when heated, you can get rid of the salt in the water easily, which isn't too hard to do. I hope you learned something new today through my video, and I hope you will at least remember a little bit of the information going forward. Thank you, and see you later. Bye.